So, last time in D&D, your unnamed party spent some time in Red Ridge, exploring, shopping, getting interrogated, and eventually you all decided to blackmail one of the heads of the church here, as you had information on them, uh, as they were part of a conspiracy uh, to an extent to kill one of the vice clerics of the Temple of Shirindlar. The high cleric of that same temple had aligned themselves slightly with paladins out of the Empire of Glass that you all have killed, and now you have gone to extort the high cleric. You've asked for specific things, um, the ability to sell handmade healing potions, the ability to have more say in making relationships and friendships with other individuals, um, and a few other things, specifically related to healing magics. So, as we begin today's session, we're going to continue where we left off with some downtime days. So, you technically have the next 3 days to do what you wish in the city. Um, at the moment, you're still speaking to the High Cleric. If there's anything else you wish to say, I know Ripley wanted some to absorb some healing magic. That has not been done yet.
Indeed.
So we can determine if that goes on. But what do you all wish to do first? Who is first?
Did want to ask Asanath and maybe Bonnie about something. Um, unless Asanath is like too EP.
No, I'm good. I had a
Okay,
long rest this time. I'm still
amazing.
incredibly messed up, but
Yeah, I wanted to propose a scheme. A back alley healing scheme.
okay.
Not
Back
sure
alley healing
how
schemes.
big this town is, but I am hoping that perhaps there are people with injuries they don't feel comfortable going to the temple to get healed. In case it's like from illegal activity, you know?
Mm,
So if we could possibly get some back alley healing in that I could maybe siphon a little off of,
Yeah.
and then
okay.
you might be able to make money on it or something.
Interesting.
Basically like a mob doctor.
Yeah, I gotcha.
hmm
Okay. So you don't want the healing from the High Cleric then? Or do you want to do both?
Um, I think that Hadar would not vibe with someone casting a healing spell for no reason.
Hey, I offered to let you injure me.
I mean, that is an
You said
option,
no.
but if people are already injured, then we don't have to injure you.
That's valid.
Very valid.
Like, I don't know for sure that the High Priest's idea wouldn't work, but if it doesn't work, I don't want to deal with the consequences of that. Because, like, I could do that myself if I wanted to, but I feel like it's not exactly the exchange rate that's gonna go over well for me.
Well, the high priest also did mention that it doesn't even have to be like a minor spell. Like they're p- planning on like giving you a pretty powerful one if you needed it.
Yeah,
It's not like he's just gonna cast a healing word. He's probably gonna use something pretty strong.
I don't know. Can I, like, try to ask Hadar if that's good enough or if it needs to be that I'm taking it from somebody who needs it.
I think
how do you ask Hadar?
Um, Probably just like thinking about it because talking out loud seems weird. Uh, yeah, just gonna think about like how do I word this? I don't know, like opening up the parts of his mind he tries to close off when Hadar is trying to like crawl his way into his subconscious. Um, and just sort of think,
Make me a religion check.
so is a priest's idea copacetic or does it have to be, you know, hurting somebody?
Make a religion check.
Oh boy.
Okay. You kind of uh, lower your guard and your internal barriers, and you kind of let your mind open up a bit, and you feel that presence that sometimes overtakes you. It almost seems to slink around your shoulder, and begins to almost like filter into your mind, and you can feel this weight at the back of your brain extend, almost like fingertips moving across the inside of your scalp until your eyes begin to see slight red, and you hear this deep guttural voice. Give me it all.
All right. Then I will take the priest up on his offer. And if the back alley healing is still intriguing and something Astronaut wants to do, we can still do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll take the high priest up on it. Seems like it'll be good enough.
You can have it all, Ripley.
Best of both worlds.
Get your cake and eat it too.
Okay. Anyone else with things they want to get out of the high priest?
No, I think
Uh,
I'm good. I think I said all I needed to say last session.
I just want to make sure that I know how to get to the library.
Yeah, I'll have someone show you.
Yeah, cool. That's all I care about.
Hmm.
I don't
Okay.
need to be in there right now or anything, but
Yeah, he'll ask for you all to kind of go, and he wishes to speak privately with uh with Ripley. Um, so as
mm,
are left in the room with the old elderly dwarven priest. Okay, so healing magic specifically then.
Yep.
Wonderful. So, let's see what he will cast.
Simple.
Um, hmm. Oh yeah, he'll do this. Um, he will take a small blade. Um, it seems like some sort of ceremonial small trinket, and he will slightly cut his hand. Um, and then he will cast heal on himself.
Okay. He's really committing to the bit. All right.
Said you wanted.
Yeah, I will use my reaction to take 35 of that.
Mm-hmm. As you feel this rush of health um, that is just absorbed from this individual. Um, that presence almost seems to nudge its way further in your consciousness. Delicious, it says in your mind. More.
All right, I'm gonna stamp that right down. Uh,
Make a wisdom saving throw.
interesting. Love that for me.
Okay. You hush the voice, you put up your internal walls, and you feel that presence begin to just fade from your mind. You feel almost like the fingers claw into your brain, as if someone is, being dragged away and clawing at the ground, leaving fingernail marks on, you know, soft material. It slightly hurts, but when the walls are fully up, the pain disappears, and that presence is gone. So, is that everything you wished for?
Yeah, that should be good. Much
Wonderful.
appreciated.
No problem. I'm glad I could help you all with your discretion. Um, let's go and I'll lead your friend Asanoth to the library. He begins to exit the chamber. Um, his hand, you can see like a slight fresh scar, still healing, but it'll probably fully heal up. Yeah, you exit the room. Your companions were probably just like further down the hall, not really doing much. Um, so yeah, Yalmatum offers to take uh, y'all to the library if you needed. Uh, he'll be waiting on more plans for the potions to be sent and made on the next couple days and stuff like that. So, who wants to go next? Who has something they wish to do?
Mm, so I heard that we wanted to try to do underworld healing. Is that what I heard earlier?
Yeah, we were scheming it.
Yeah, they're scheming, plotting and
Hmm.
planning.
Ripley, Asanath, and Bonnie are scheming in a corner.
Um, if there is if there if there's a hospital outside of the asylum, obviously, I think Gil would try to go there just to kill his time while he studies and gets his hands on uh uh cadavers.
Okay. Yeah, if you there's not really a hospital per se. A lot of the healing in the city is via the temples. So there's no real public uh need for one.
Right.
Um, if you go to Trustra at York, um, you could probably, if there's a couple more bodies that need autopsies done, they might be willing to have more assistance,
Okay.
add some more practice into your repertoire.
Yeah. Exactly.
hmm I will say, like, this came up last session. You are able to learn like a small list of who would probably be attending this this feast of sorts that's being held in the Temple of Sharendalar.
Mhm.
Um, and some of those names are names you've heard so far, like Ystra, Matthews. You probably would have heard of Larmorn, the champion of the Drow survivors. Um, a couple of these other individuals would be known to you. So, just so you know.
Ah,
But yeah, you can definitely head to the Master of the Grave and begin, picking up a couple shifts.
okay. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Is there anything specific you're wanting to get out of this, like character-wise, or?
You know what? Yeah. He would be looking out for anyone that seems to have what was it? The touch of hunger is what it was.
Hmm.
I guess he'd be looking out for that, and if he found anything, he would like to more thoroughly dive into that.
Okay. Um, Go ahead and make an investigation check for me. This can be with advantage. This is over the course of a couple days, probably.
Oh my gosh, man. If I could roll anything decent in my life, that'd be nice.
So this is a big city. A lot of these like curses and small things like that are cured fairly regularly and fairly quickly. So there's no like there's not really people that are cursed that die and are brought to the um, autopsy room. You know, they just don't seem to be brought that way. Um, and speaking, I will say with Trustra, the hungered curse, like the one that you have, is a very rare thing.
Mm,
Um, you know, the hungered beasts are out in the wilds between the cities, and while they are strange and feral, the city is well protected, and people on the inside are not affected by it.
okay. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. Um, Sorry about that. So we have Egil, who is doing um, autopsies. Um, it leaves the rest of you.
Asnath, you want to go do some illegal healing?
Sure. Will I still have access to the library if I leave before visiting it?
Oh yes, the library.
I want to read about Hadar.
Yeah, let's go to the library. I
Okay.
love to read.
Two of you head off to the library,
I'm gonna need help finding
go into the
books.
church archives.
Yeah, I want to try to see if I can't find anything about elder evils
Hmm.
and like I think I'm especially interested in heralds of Hadar or
Oh yeah.
attacks that have been recorded.
Hmm.
Um
Yeah, I'll
just
help look
a
for that too.
personal
Make
interest.
uh make history or investigation checks.
Would you like to aid me with an investigation?
I would love nothing more. Could I also guidance you?
I would love that, thank you.
Ooh-wee. That is a very high roll.
Perfect duo.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah. We're blessed, clearly.
So you begin to go through a lot of these books. There's no, the library you're brought to is basically like the church archives. It's not the most in depth. It's not, some temple of knowledge. This is just a temple of healing. Um, but there is some interesting uh, essays written and journals that are stashed here from throughout the ages of people trying to cure some unorthodox things. Um, and you begin to, pour through these journals, and you realize that this city is ancient. Um, the dwarves here, um, originally dwelled underneath the ridge for the most part, never surfaced ever until the area began to be infested with humans. And at first, they didn't want to really partake or allow them into their city. It was a very um, kind of seclusionary thing. But eventually, there was an event that happened pre-Dawn War, supposedly, that tied these two groups together, and eventually brought about the surface living dwarves that now occupy the Red Ridge. Um, it's said that long time ago, through a lot of these manuscripts, that there was um, pre-Dawn War creatures, aberrations, and the like that began to filter up from the Underdark. Um, and while the dwarves were busy dealing with that, it was said that there was a great darkness that was sapping life throughout the region. Um, it would leave husks behind and nothing more. All life was fading in its vicinity. And the humans who were fighting whatever this force was were often seeing the husks becoming alien and strange, and they would awaken in the night. Eventually, it was deemed that there was some great aberration that was affecting the area, and the two united. The dwarves were able to beat back the aberrations in the Underdark, and eventually sealed the Underdark from below their city. The humans had a nice, safe place to rest and recoup. Eventually, the aberrations died down, and the humans, in response, built a temple in order to try and fix the minds of those who had been broken by this calamity. That temple and that asylum was the asylum here. It has had a long history of trying to house those who have been mentally damaged by otherworldly creatures and beasts. There's no specific mention of a name of whatever these things are, or whatever this event was. This is like ancient history. This is like, you know, a person in the 1500s talking about Rome. They're like, I think this happened. They don't fully know. And it's just describing the origins of this city. Um, the only concrete knowledge that is kind of shown as you're reading along is many of these events, these pre-Dawn Age, or these pre um, Spark Age, I should say, events, because this was all during the Dawn Age. This is before the collapse of the Empire of Dawn. Um, in fact, a lot of places, it seems like it was before its rise. Like the history here is so ancient. They do mention um, a hero of sorts um, that was said to have sworn to eradicate the aberrations from the plane, and that this individual did uh, visit the region. They never visited Red Ridge. but it is said that this individual or individuals were key in taking down whatever this aberrational cabal was. And like there's bits and pieces of theory craft from some of the clerics throughout the years. Some notes written in the edges of the page, um, leading you to the same notion that could probably have been an individual now known as Greylit.
Interesting.
Yeah, a ethereal planeswalker who stopped the aberrations.
Okay. Is there anything else we should look up while we're here? Anything else you need us to know?
No, this is pretty much all I was looking for. I didn't say that in character, my bad. No, this is pretty much all I was looking for.
All right.
Illegal stuff?
Yeah. Although I would like to browse and see if they have any records on um protections against mind altering magic.
Um, hmm. Like, what do you mean by that?
Like, do they have? I don't know how to phrase it. Because you said it's not exactly a library; it's like hospital records and journals. So, have they ever had people who excelled at like curing madness or preventing mind control or warding off uh possessions, that kind of stuff?
Not in recent years. There hasn't been really a need. Um, the asylum. I'll probably also say the asylum didn't see a lot of use for a long time. Like it would house small groups of people at a time, but it never saw things of 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 aberrational nature um, till you know the past few years. Uh, so
All right.
no one's really doing studies on protecting the mind other than like right now. But there's spells that can like protection from good and evil is one that it would be readily brought up um, that could be beneficial.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Let's go do some shady healing.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Where's the worst neighborhood in town?
Yeah.
Bonnie, you have good business sense, don't you?
Bonnie, what's the worst neighborhood? Where does it look like capitalism will run rampant?
Capitalism and violence.
People who aren't rich enough to stop needing money, but aren't poor enough to hate the rich completely. or don't still want to not be the rich. It's a delicate line of balance. Plague Tim.
I think Plague TM.
Oh, that that would make more sense.
It's fine. We need spaces.
Yeah. Damn, Doc, you just got outclassed.
I literally, in my browser, one of my saved pages is a page with all of the, like, it's got like the R, the TM, the CM circle. It's like all those like weird symbol thingies that if I need them,
Yeah.
I just open that and copy and paste it. There are like keyboard shortcuts you can do to get them, but I don't fucking know them. So I just have had that page saved for years.
That's awesome. Okay. So, yeah, searching around town, um, the poorest areas seem to be next to the river. Um, so exploring around there, and going, further down, past where the Tower of the Redwater Watch is. Nice. There, past that section, the city definitely seems to get not as nice, especially near the water. The ridge kind of curves inland quite a bit and kind of opens up and allows more space for the city to kind of occupy. It seems like the North City is very thin. The space leading up to the ridge is, you know, uh, quite smaller. I feel like the city is very San Diego-esque.
Okay, well, let's find some injured people.
Oh yes. If you wish, go ahead. Hmm. Let me look at character sheets to see what y'all are good at. Go ahead and make like persuasion checks if you wish, as
Okay,
you
can I
begin to
aid
ask about.
somebody in their persuasion? Because I suck at that.
I still have a -3.
Bonnie.
Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah,
Bonnie
I
has the
will
plus
help
three.
Bonnie.
I have a +4 with the -3, so it's a +1.
Bonnie's still better.
I will
No,
help
Bonnie is still
Bonnie.
better.
I'm sorry, Bonnie's just better than
And
you for not dying.
I have disadvantage because I'm also exhausted.
Yup. You got messed up.
I did. I did get very messed up.
Oh, did you mean to click that, or was Bonnie doing it?
Oh, I don't know. Sorry. I thought we all had to.
No,
Ignore
this
that
is just
then.
the whoever
I
is doing the
misunderstood.
talking of trying
No, not
to.
me.
Okay. You probably try and like the first
Not
person you
me.
find, and you're like, "Hey, are you hurt or sick? I can heal you." As you're like sweating profusely, you look like you're about to
Yeah.
pass out. You have the biggest bags under your eyes.
I'm holding a clown doll.
Yup. Just look like the most disheveled person. Yeah, you
Once
walk up.
again, Bonnie's the most normal out of us.
Yeah.
You walk up to, the first person you find is probably like a young, uh, like, yeah, like a young man who seems that, have like had really young, like hard labor. So it looks like they're like already on a hunch, like they've just like had a bad life to begin with, and they look at you, "Ah! Ah!" and runs away.
How fucked up would it be if I baned him?
Do you bane him?
No, but I really want to make him
You
go
should.
insane.
I think you should bane him.
I think I should bane him, and I want him to make me a wisdom saving throw as well if he fails.
Okay. Let me get the
Beat
dice.
my DC random NPC.
He fails.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
He
Again.
fails.
Ha ha! You fall
Um,
victim to my tricks.
yeah, he trips and falls as he's running away, as he fails
Oh,
his
8. Hang
dexterity.
on. What's 8? The creature is frightened of you.
that works so perfectly. There's just screams of terror as he just goes running away.
This is good for business.
Notoriety, my dear. My dear friend, notoriety.
It's so terrifying as he runs away.
That's what happens when they
Amazing.
refuse healing.
And then Bonnie talks to someone and it goes over way better.
Yeah. Now what happens with Bonnie is 22.
Yeah, with Bonnie's 22. After that occurs, Bonnie just like walks up to the next person and goes, "Hi, you look like you're having a mighty hard time standing up. Can I help you with that?" And this older gentleman who's using a cane at the moment goes, "How would you help me?"
Have you ever heard of chiropractic?
Crack a hip? What?
Uh,
How would you help?
Aces.
Would you be doing healing magic or?
Ace has healing magic and a +7 in medicine. So theoretically, if I guidance myself and someone helps me, I have a decent medicine check.
Mm-hmm.
I also have healing stuff. I can have more tomorrow when I have a chance to rest and spec out my spells for pure healing, but for now.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah,
I also do have a few heals.
yeah. Based on the beginning of the conversation, he seems interested in seeing what you're offering. Healing magic would probably, you know, doesn't seem like the smartest individual, but healing magic could help. Um, Chiropractic would, you know, would probably be pretty good as well. Could use a so many uses of it. It just seems like this is an area of town where like there's harder working people, and they're just a little bit more run down.
If only I still had lesser restoration prepared.
All these people need a dose of icy hot.
They for real do. They just need a bunch of like muscle relaxers
Mm-hmm.
and a
which is
masseuse.
which is what your healing magic will do.
All right, yeah, I'll
Ooh.
healing word this guy.
Okay. Yeah, you healing word him, and suddenly he seems to like straighten up slightly. Oh,
And I take 6 of it.
nice. My back, it already feels a little bit better.
That's I think commoners have 5 hit points, so I healed him more than his total hit points.
Absolutely. That's why he's like perked up. He looks healthier than he ever has before, probably. Oh, and you just do this out of the kindness of your heart. Bless you. church really is so wonderful nowadays.
Wait, what did he say?
You
Uh,
didn't charge him before you
yeah, he
healed
just
him.
said, you know, the church is wonderful these days. You really did this out of the kindness of your heart.
We're not with the church.
Oh, oh,
Unaffiliated, but
bless you,
just as
laddie.
helpful.
We'll pat you on the shoulder.
Flinch away from that.
Here, as a thank you present, he opens his arms.
I think I'm good.
Oh, come on, bring it in.
Absolutely not. I walk away.
Uh, what about you?
Who's he talking to?
Probably
Bonnie, I
Asaroth.
assume.
Oh, Bonnie, actually, yeah.
It'd be really funny if you chose Asanoth instead. Like, you, a lady who's just been standing in the back
Nah, it'd probably be Bonnie.
silently.
Y'all didn't charge him. You just healed him.
I know!
Listen, it's the first time. We're figuring it out.
Ripley is. This is why Ripley had no money. He has no
Exactly.
business sense.
He doesn't. He lived in the woods for so long. He has never partaken in capitalism.
Does
So
Bonnie hug the
blessed.
old man?
I'd be really surprised if Bonnie hugs him.
Clay could hug him. Clay seems like a hugger.
I don't know,
Send
man.
send Clay to do all the like the dirty work, the hugs that need to happen.
Yeah.
He doesn't have
The stuff
fingerprints.
none of us people want to do.
I'd hug him. Ace would hug him.
Clay looks, and as his sworn duty to protect you, he goes and hugs the old man, who
Mhm.
weirdly gives this little thing a couple pats on the back. Well, thank you for fixing my back. I appreciate it.
Hugging an old man is akin to taking a bullet.
Absolutely. Clay like
Yeah.
begins to walk away and just shakes his head. He's so ashamed of himself.
Mr.
Like I
President, get down.
takes the hug. But if it's not a hug, it was a bomb.
Okay, let's find someone and make them give us money this time.
Okay, what about this? What if Bonnie goes out scouting, right, for clients, because Bonnie can talk to the people. Like Bonnie and Ripley go out scouting for clients, and
Mhm.
I can just kind of find a place to set up. Like, we can find a place to set up shop, split. Ace can like stay here. Y'all can bring people back in, kind of like a makeshift clinic.
Yeah, we could set up a little shitty clinic.
Yeah, we can set up a little like temporary shitty clinic, and tell people like, hey, we're running an impromptu clinic. Stop by if you want healing.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's a lemonade stand, but for injuries and back problems.
Exactly. Let me try out chiropractic for the first time on you, and you only have to pay me a gold to do it.
A gold, that's a little steep for the poor end of town.
Fine. 2 silver. 2 silver for chiropractic.
I feel like that's fair. Honey economy. I can see that. Honey is a valuable commodity. All right, yeah. Me and Bonnie, if they're okay with it, we can go bring in clientele.
Yeah. And Bonnie could leave Clay with me so y'all know where to find me.
Oh, you just got like super quiet.
Sorry, my mic's far away. Bonnie could leave Clay with me, so y'all know where to find me.
Probably a good idea. All right, away we go.
Away you go. So, Bonnie, you want to do it again? make a roll to persuade people.
I will assist.
Yes. So you have advantage because Ripley is also talking. Ripley is socializing.
It's the worst experience.
Okay. So you're able to find and talk to a few people in this zone that 2 silver pieces is cheaper than a lot of the bigger temples do for their healing. Um, and some people you get a couple people that are interested. It's not many. Uh, a lot of people are busy. It's the middle of the day, and some of them, you know, would rather choose a an actual establishment that is, uh, you know, represented on the Better Business Bureau, basically.
It's accredited.
Yeah, it's an accredited temple. Um, but you definitely get like, I would say, let me roll for this real fast. Okay. Yeah, you're able to get at least 3 people that come by and will, take a little healing session. It's not many, but you know, starting
Hey,
out,
that's better than 0.
absolutely.
For the first day? Hell yeah. Alright, who's doing the heals?
I can do them.
Alrighty.
I have cure wounds.
Hmm. So yeah, they come in to it probably an open area that or like a back alley, somewhere private where you could uh, begin to
Yeah,
do
I'm
your magic.
imagining like one of those back alleys that has like one wide entrance and then like one kind of skinny entrance off to the side that's a little hard to see.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's where you're currently standing is in the shaded smaller alleyway. Uh,
Awesome, that's just been setting up here for a little while.
hmm Yeah, no one seems to have bothered you. There's a couple rats that scurry on by, but they look at you and ignore you.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're brought customers who are definitely themselves on the shady side. Um, one of which is like you watch him and he's not even really injured. He's just like, yeah, I'll do some healing.
Is this like drugs for him?
Yeah, yeah, you got some healing for me?
Hey, no questions asked as long as you got the money.
Yeah, I got the
Yeah,
money.
2
Got the
silver.
healing?
Of course I do. 2 silver.
He slides you the 2 silver.
I take it and then I do a cure wounds on him.
Oh shit, yeah, that's the good stuff.
12.
I'll take 6 of that.
I feel mighty fine already. What's your name?
Asnath.
Asanav. Pleasure to meet you. You can call me Philodendron.
Philodendron. Nice to meet you as well. Wait, did I spell that? I almost spelled that correctly.
Almost? Oh yeah.
Almost.
What was it? Double eyes?
The double I's, and then I spelled the Ren wrong. I spelled it Reen.
Oh. Triple eyes. Well, thank you for the healing, and I'll catch you all later. He quickly begins walking down the street, puts his hood up, disappears.
Alright, we got 2 more.
Yeah.
That's an NPC that volunteered his name. Something seems important about that guy.
I wrote it down.
Same.
So the next 2 people come by. They receive healing as well. General workplace accidents. One guy is just he needs to get back into work. He's starting to lose money for his family, and he just has like a partially dislocated and shattered arm. Which through some healing magic you're able to repair enough that he can probably sneak his way back into work. Um, you know he seems to be a tile person on one of the roofs and many of the roofs here. So he's working on the on top of buildings. He needs his arms. The other person
Full
just
bit.
seems to be a person more down on their luck, and is just like slightly injured. Um, a couple scrapes and scratches. Just generally needs it. But yeah, you're able to make the 6 silver pieces over the
And
course of the day.
just for my note keeping Alsnath, can you roll those other 2 cure wounds?
Yes. Apologies.
No worries.
Decent cure
Wonderful.
wounds.
Thank you, thank you.
A 6 and a 5.
Hadar is eating good today.
Yum yum yum.
Ha ha ha. We love him. We serve him. We eat
Do
for
we?
him.
I
You do whether you like it or not.
suppose.
You may not do the first one, but you do the other two. Don't say that, Bonnie. You're gonna fucking curse me. Why do you always curse me?
You've been cursed. You've been struck by a cursed Bonnie. So, that is your first day of illegal healing.
It's illegal to heal without a license.
Uh, maybe.
I think Asif did almost get arrested for it once, so. They're a little strict on sanctioned healing.
What are they gonna do? Probably a lot, actually.
I don't know, arrest us? Yeah, we just get killed.
Yeah.
We just die. That's the worst that could happen.
Hell yeah.
Alright. Yeah, so the 2 of you can split up that money if you want to. Ripley doesn't need it. He just needed the healing.
I will take money. Also, just to double check, my doll didn't, say anything, did it?
No.
Okay.
Why would it say anything?
Well, because it wanted to go shopping.
Maybe.
So I just wanted to check. I was gonna split it 50-50. So you get 3, I get 3. That seems fair.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything on this fine? Actually, I think it would just be Atlas then. So all of you have, done stuff for your first day of downtime. Is there anything you wish to do, Atlas, or just chilling?
I think Atlas would probably just find maybe a training ground just to train pretty much for the whole day.
Okay. Um. Hmm. Asking around, you're most likely directed to the Tower of the Guards. There, you are able to probably get a meeting with the captain once more, um, since you've already met him. Um, Yistra will kind of meet with you, and when you ask about like a training grounds, we'll kind of look uh, slightly quizzical. Our our training grounds are typically reserved for the guards of our fair city. I don't think there's any real public ones. There's some places nearby where you could probably do some underground fighting. I know of a couple rings. Um, what makes you want to train?
The usual reason. Just want to get stronger.
Hmm, fair enough. Well, if you want to use our training grounds, I guess it's not too bad. I'll set you up with the time. Follow me, and he'll lead you down below the tower, into what essentially would be a massive underground arena. You can see some ancient, um, almost amphitheater has been shifted and changed to house a very nice training grounds. You can see uh, at this point in time in the day, there's probably a good maybe 30 guards using it. There's all sorts of um, spear bags, archery targets. There's general calisthenics courses and areas. There's platforming spots. There's it seems like there's a lot of stuff. Far more fancy than any uh, guard training grounds you ever saw in Bitterwood.
Yeah, I guess like he'll just start. I guess start like train normally initially,
Mhm.
but then he'll start like using his rage and stuff and just like reckless attack and just try and go like 110% always.
I gotcha. Um, Go ahead. You probably spend a good, you know, 5 to 6 hours in the gym here, just working away, raging, and uh, eventually mark off a point of exhaustion as you kind of just went wild in the gym. A lot of the guards who were training kind of like take a step back for most of it, and they kind of give you your space as they just see you recklessly kind of going at it near the end. Eventually, as you're heading out, Yeaster kind of walks over towards you. I happen to catch a lot of that. Um, you seem to have some formal training. Uh, where did you receive that from?
Oh, I used to be a guard in from the Bitterwood.
Really? Oh, it takes a lot of bravery to be a backcountry guard, but yeah, I just happened to notice there was a hint of it. There's a lot more rage. Rage can be
Yeah,
useful in a fight, but don't rely on it for everything. Gotta be smart sometimes too. And personally, if you ever need to talk about things, you know, rage wise, you've already met him, but I've heard that Drow Feyrintra is a pretty good talker.
yeah, all right.
If you need some therapy, help you channel rage in a healthy way, because you fucking destroyed some of our targets.
Yeah, sorry about that. I could pay for them.
Don't worry about it. Kingship already pays for them. We know they're gonna get messed up. For you to do it in one 6-hour session is Uh, something we've not experienced, I don't think ever. So I hope my people have learned a little something from watching you. Well, I didn't mean to keep you. Feel free to come back anytime. I've left a couple notes with the head office. They'll show you down here again.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Always happy to help out a fellow guardsman. Yeah, and he'll let you do your own thing for the remainder of your time. Uh, as you head out, pretty exhausted after a very good day of training, you meet back up with your fellow companions. Um, a little bit richer. Uh, Egil seems pretty tired after a long day of stocking uh, different embalming fluids and doing a couple autopsies, gathering bodies, making sure they are fit and ready for funeral services, as it is not all murder scenes and dangerous deaths. It is funerals and preparing graves. But if there's anything else, or if there's nothing else, we can end the first day of your downtime. A few days. The next day, I'm assuming you all are going to do very similar things.
Uh, I would actually like to spend this day studying my Oblivion gem.
Hmm. Okay. Bonnie has potions. How many potions do you have, Bonnie? 2 potions. Okay. Yeah. With that, with 2 potions, Yalmatum will probably be able to uh, fetch a decent price for you. Uh, he'll probably pay out 15 gold per.
Damn. Bonnie's making bucks.
Healing's needed. Whatever the type. I mean, granted, you're in a city where you kind of do know the local church leadership, and he is gathering items in that he can probably sell for higher on his own. But he's having the church buy him up for you. Yeah. Um, Atlas, are you doing the same thing, or what are you doing for this next day?
Yeah, I would be doing the same thing.
Okay. Yeah. Is there a specific goal that you're looking for in the training? Something tangible that I can help you achieve?
Nothing particular. Atlas just wants to get stronger to prepare himself.
Okay. Um, hmm. I'm gonna say with each day that you train, go ahead. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna say with each day of training, because you're choosing to just work on your character, I'm gonna say you can add a +3 to damage rolls 3 times. Just because you're working out, you're practicing your spear hits. Eventually that training is going to go by the wayside when you leave the city and you're not training every day and getting up that power. But for 3 days of actually going and training and doing all this stuff during your downtime, uh, I say it gives you a physical benefit to that, even for a short time.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I want to give you something tangible for because if you're um, getting this practice in, over the course of a few days, yeah, it's a good role play aspect, and I want to encourage you all to keep going for this role play stuff. Um, Speaking of, is Gil here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So over the course of the past 2 days, you've been going to do autopsies, preparing bodies, and the like for the medical training that it gives you. I'm going to give you advantage on medicine checks for the next week,
Mm.
as you're very familiar with a lot of bodies now. You've put in like 8 hour, 10 hour shifts just learning about bodies, and uh, this should give you a little bit of something, something. Even though it's not the best, um, but also because you're doing autopsies and stuff, might as well. I'll do the same. I'll do a very similar thing, I should say. Um, do you plan on doing this for all 3 days?
Um, yeah, I don't think you would have anything else
Okay.
in mind.
Yeah, you do. You also can add a +3 bonus to your attacks for the next for essentially 3 different combats or three
Okay,
different
for
times.
3. Okay.
Yeah,
You said the damage rolls, right?
yeah. So a +3 to a +3 3 times.
Wait, 3 times, so 3 separate attacks, or that's 3 combats?
I
This
was thinking combats, so like
Okay,
3 sessions
so
of
okay,
+3.
okay, okay, cool.
Belric, you can not Belric, Brandon, you can do the same thing. I don't know if I was entirely clear on what it
Okay.
was.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes more sense now.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. I literally was just trying to come up with something that was like, okay, I don't want it to be too powerful, but like you should have some benefit for doing this. You know, I want to reward you for just choosing to carve up bodies or go work out for a couple days while the rest of your squad is making cash monies.
Hey, I'm not making any cash monies. I'm gonna stare at a rock for a day.
Oh yes. You go and stare at a rock. Go ahead, roll me investigation
All right,
or Arcana.
it's the same.
I know.
God, can I roll good? Actually, I'm gonna use my. Can I use my clockwork amulet for that, or is it too late for that? It's already rolled.
I'll allow it.
Okay, so it's just a 17.
17. Okay. So looking at the Oblivion gem that you currently wheeled within your palms, you begin to analyze it more, and it's not the most innately magical item, um, but it definitely has a connection to um, something. Let me open my
I want
pages.
to specifically, I want to see if I can sort of get any feelings or thoughts or connection to whatever, or to the oblivion that's in this, that was turned into this.
Hmm.
I
Do
want to form
you
some kind of connection with it.
let down that kind of mental barrier that you've been forming?
Yeah, probably a little bit. Just because I know that I can't be blocking things out if I want this to work.
Hmm. Okay. Go ahead. Hmm. So let's see here. You begin to kind of investigate and inspect the gem, and like I said, it's not the most uh, powerful or like magical item. It is small, and the tie it has with whatever the oblivions are is light. But you kind of let loose this uh, mental block that you have for Hadar, and you feel that presence slightly begin to creep in as you focus on the gem, trying to bring forth whatever innate connection the oblivions have with this. Uh, and you begin to hear in your ear the voice of Hadar begin to shift and change as you begin to hear just the sound of wind for a second. This very strange, and then that whistling wind sound turns fully into whistling, and you begin to hear it almost like it's creeping up behind you. You feel the hair on your neck stand on end, and you feel like there's a presence behind you, separate slightly from Hadar itself. You feel as if the hunger itself begins to turn slightly.
Okay. I'm gonna try to feel as comfortable in that presence as I can.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna look behind me, even though it's like instinct. I want it to feel like it can approach me if it wants to. Not like physically approach me, because I don't imagine it's a physical thing, but like mentally, you know?
Yeah.
Alright, making progress.
Yeah. You feel as the presence of Hadar shifts and almost seems to turn. There is a feeling that you're getting of recognition, of hunger, and then you feel two sets of hands grasp onto your shoulder. That soft, wind-like whistle begins to fade until it becomes a whisper directly in your ear. Hungry, hungry, feed us, feed me. Both the Oblivion voice and Hadar's begin to echo a very similar thing. where both of them seem eternally hungry.
Okay. Cool. It's probably fine.
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah. So as you're currently witnessing this gem and feeling these two different sets of voices and minds that seem to have very similar uh, portfolios, soon those presences begin to merge once more until it is just Hadar once more, that kind of is leaning over your shoulders, watching over you from above.
All right. Yeah, after that, I'll kind of try and block him out again. Best I can.
Okay.
Calm down, little guy.
So, anything else?
That's all for me today.
Capitalist. Uh, What does 1d8 healing, but they last till a long rest since these are testing ones, so they can be cheaper than usual. Make one healing potion with that, or should I buy supplies today for ones that actually last? That is a good question. It depends on what you want to do. Healing potions are typically, more common. They are the standard in the game for a reason. Were these the ones you? So they only last one day? Hmm. Interesting. I mean, if you're attempting to sell them to, yeah, interesting. I mean, the ones that you're selling off to the paladins would probably need to last all day. So if you, I mean, I would craft ones that, I would create ones that last as long as possible. if you have more downtime days, it's not like you're about to go adventuring again in the next day. Craft the actual potions. Let's go. Do you want to try and add some of your blood? Become a sanguine artificer? Maybe. I bet they do exist. Somewhere in the reaches of D&D lore. Ah, the Dragonborn. Sorry, the Dragonborn music just popped up. Okay. Yeah, you add a small droplet of blood to your potion. You don't know if it has any effect, but please demark it with a asterisk in your inventory sheet. That way I know which one is the blood one. I love blood. Welcome back. In materials, it does technically cost to make potions. So if you're making like an actual healing potion, the materials I believe is half the cost of a typical healing potion. So I think it's 25 gold. But you can sell them at a profit for 50 gold. So you'd make 25 gold back.
Gotta break eggs to make an omelet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, it probably would take another day to make full healing potions as well. One second. Gotcha. 75 gold. 2 real healing potions. 1 tester with golden blood. Very nice. Okay. So we have pretty much everyone accounted for, I believe, except Asanat. Asanat, any last things you want to do on the second day?
Yeah, if I could just get, I don't know, some time with myself to walk around town with my doll.
Yeah, you're
And
easily
I
able to
really
find a
want to
day.
try to figure out what it wants. So that's the goal of this, but essentially I'm just sightseeing.
Sorry about that. What was it again?
The goal is to try to figure out what my doll wants. But essentially I'm just sightseeing.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so as you begin walking around town sightseeing, um, you do hear the voice of your doll kind of like begin to pick at your brain. I feel awake. Yes?
I'm gonna look around and see if anything catches my eye.
You are currently walking out front of what looks to be an old toy shop.
Do you want to go in there?
I suppose you
And I'll
can.
I I'll go inside.
Okay. One moment, dearie. You hear an old voice creak from the back of the shop.
Hmm. I'll look around.
Yeah, it seems to just be, an old, kind of slightly dusty toy shop. Not too much. Uh, seems to be uh, like brand new or really fancy. It's just some standard stuff. You wooden rocking horses and some soft teddy bears and stuff like that.
Fair enough. I guess while I'm waiting, I'm just gonna hold my doll out at certain places so she can get a better look at things.
Hmm.
Normal people behavior. That sort of thing.
Yeah. You eventually do come across a section of the shop that seems to be made for dolls. You can see different dresses, and hats, and all manner of uh, interesting items.
Are
And you
there
can,
eyes?
yeah. You hear the voice enters in your head. I put them in my alms box. I'll get someone's eyes for you.
Yeah, I'll start looking for any kind of eyes that remind me of the eyes I have in my alms box.
Okay. Yeah, you begin to look about and check out some of the items there. What's your passive perception?
17.
17. Um, okay. You are just able to notice. As you're beginning to look around this small table, there's some sort of movement, and you can see there's like a shelving unit that contains different dolls and um, small boxes that seem to house like different hats and dresses and just like an assortment of just items to personalize your different dolls in this section of the shop. Um, and you just see this like slight movement, and you can see one of the boxes slowly is moving as you watch what looks to be a puppet, a marionette on some strings begins to push the box, and its white porcelain eyes are matching into yours as you look at it. Hello, dearie.
Hello.
Finding everything you're looking for?
Oh, I'm just browsing right now.
The doll is pulled. The marionette is pulled from the shelf, and you can see an individual rises from beyond the shelf, that barely able to be noticed that they were on the other side, and they walk around the shelving unit, and you can see an old woman currently wielding the marionette doll, currently dressed in somewhat fine attire. Um, she's older, grayed hair, doesn't really pass, the mid part of her neck. It does kind of part in the middle and goes into two singular swirls of silver hair along her sides. Her eyes are incredibly wide and almost piercing as she like gazes into your eyes, uh, and she has a very creepy smile.
You can play the creepy smile game.
I couldn't help but see that you're looking around the doll section. Beautiful little things. And she waves her fingertips, and you watch as the doll begins to just, well, the marionette begins to just drift and dance through the air until it lands on a shelf um, up near the ceiling.
They really are. I was hoping to get a new pair of eyes for mine. And I showed my doll.
Hmm. Lovely little piece. It is much older. I can get something for you. Hmm. Let's see. These ones. She picks out two eyes. Um, they are beautiful, well made porcelain eyes. Um, and your doll is in slight disrepair. It was kind of abandoned for a while. Uh, it looks like they would fit right in.
I'm gonna out loud whisper to my doll. Um, what do you think? Do you like them?
Yes, that's like a
How
gift for me.
much?
Hmm. Well, for you and your sweet little dolly here, give me a silver piece and I'll call it even. I'll even install them for you.
Thank you kindly. And I'll
Anytime, dearie.
hand over a silver piece.
You hand over the silver piece.
Mm,
Your doll? And holds her hand out. You can feel your doll slightly become weightless.
yes, I'll hand over my doll.
It slightly tugs from your hand, and soon your doll floats through the air until it calmly lands in a loving embrace by the old toy maker. Hmm. Give me but a moment. She turns and walks away. If you need, feel free to take a couple more looks around. There's plenty here. She walks around the corner and soon disappears deeper into the shop.
Yeah, I'll keep looking around.
Yeah, there's all manner of small different items, and not all of them are entirely too creepy, but there is a lot of creepy porcelain dolls, marionettes, and Jack in the Boxes that almost seem to like slightly follow you as you begin to move through the shop.
Nice, nice.
Hmm.
I swear if this lady steals my doll.
There is a slight sound that is heard at some point as you're perusing the shop, probably about like 5 minutes in. There's a loud from above you, like big old boom, like something heavy falls.
Oh shit. Can I try to see what that was?
You kind of make your way to the back of the store. You can see this store is partially the home of the individual. You can see a set of stairs kind of leads upwards beyond the counter. So it seems that this is probably somewhere in the living quarters.
Hmm. Strange. But probably none of my business. Did the old lady go up there?
You don't know where the old lady went. She went around that shelf that she like hid
And she
behind,
just okay.
to like kind of surprise you and like play a little trick on you, and then she just disappeared. Like you walk through the shop and there's not
Shame. I was
much.
so fully ready for the proprietor of the shop to be a doll.
Honestly, I could tell. Eventually, there is some sound. You hear the door kind of swing open. Uh, bell chimes. You can see a young kid and his very very tired mom rush into the store. The kid just starts going wild, and starts just touching everything. You see the mom, too exhausted to really control their child. Just please don't touch anything. Pick what you want, and we'll get. Oh, sorry about this. She says to you.
Oh, it's perfectly all right.
You come here often?
No, I'm actually from out of town, but found myself staying here for a few days, and I have a doll that I'd like to get fixed up.
Oh, well, good to know they fix some of the toys you can get here. My first time as well. Not usually on the side of the city. Thought we'd check it out. Where'd he go? She looks around. The kid has all but disappeared. Soon you see him running across the room, seemingly spiraling the innards of some poor marionette that he has just dragged the strings with.
Hmm.
Troublemakers. Um, there is a few more sounds of the kid clamoring around somewhere in one of the other aisles, seemingly going towards the doll section where you were from, where you came from recently. Uh, there is a quick succession of doo, 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 and then you hear as you see the old lady coming down the steps holding the doll. It's been done.
Wonderful. Thank you again.
Anytime.
And I'm going to take my doll back.
She
as quickly
hands
as
you the
possible.
doll and smiles towards you. I hope
Just
you
grab
have a good
that.
day. You sweet young thing.
You as well.
She turns and begins to walk somewhere else in the shop, and you hear again, boom, boom, boom. And you look around, and you realize the mom's gone. And there's no sound from the kid.
Well, that's weird. What happened to the marionette he strung out?
Do you
Is it
go
still
and
there?
kind of? Well, she begins to just walk deeper into the store, kind of the opposite direction. You go and check out the doll section.
Yeah.
Yeah, you begin to walk that way, and kind of peek your head around towards where you originally found the dolls, and you can see the marionette has what was dragged all the way into the doll section, and is currently just laying there on the floor.
Is it still like all in a tuff?
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Can I just put it back to rights and then set it on a shelf so it's not on the floor and strung out horribly?
Yeah, you pick up the marionette and place it back on a shelf.
Cool. I guess I'll leave now.
Yeah, you
I
walk.
assume it killed the mom and the kid.
Yeah, you walk towards the door and turn back just in time to see uh, that on the steps there is something dragging what looks to be a massive toy bag up the steps.
Okay.
And then it
I
is
found
gone.
a wonderful little evil shop.
It's not evil at all. No evil there.
No, no,
It's
no,
all
no,
good.
no. Just justice.
Absolutely. Yeah, as you head out of the shop with your new dolly, you can see its eyes are beautiful. Some of the porcelain that have had begun to crack has been fixed. And you hear in your mind, "Thank you for not leaving me to die."
Of course. It's what friends are for.
Best friends.
Best friends. And then I'll make my way back to the group. I have no reason to be by myself anymore.
Yeah. New eyes for your dolly. So with that, we end day 2. Go into day 3. Egil and Atlas are continuing their trainings, becoming better. The 3 of you, Bonnie, Ripley, Isanoff, is there anything y'all wish to do for your last day, or do you sell items?
I'm gonna get in a work day for my side project.
Okay.
I'm gonna go sell more healing in the bad district of town.
Okay.
I'll go alone if I must. I don't really care.
I mean, if I could tag along for that, I'd love to, but if I need to dedicate the whole day to working, that's fine too.
I would say, you're probably gonna have to dedicate a whole day to working. You're not.
Okay, that's
You
fine.
can't work and walk at the same time. But let's see if Bonnie wants to go with you.
I'm up to no disadvantage and only 1 minus from Ree's dead now. Yeah, I mean, at the very least, I'll probably need time to like go and get set up in the little alley that I was in before, if it's still available, just for
Mhm.
like continuity's sake.
Oh, for sure.
Philandron's expecting me, I think. Not really, obviously. I'm sure he's got another fix somewhere. Gotta fit the rats for turf. I don't think the rats want to fight me.
Yeah. No, if you yeah, so you and Bonnie head out you know, to the more seedy side of town to begin selling off healing magics once more. Go ahead and either of you roll persuasion checks.
I think we literally have exactly the same now. +3.
Who wants the advantage?
Why don't you do it, Bonnie? I'll guidance you as well. Spell save DC. Roll a saving throw against my guidance.
A 6 with advantage.
You have advantage. And guidance.
Yeah, you fail the spell save.
Whoa.
Damn.
Yeah, you do not attract any new customers whatsoever. It seems like it's just a tough day. You spend a majority of your day out and about, kind of just struggling to find anyone who's really injured who wants to pay like just a slightly lower price than some of the main temples. Um, and eventually, you're about to give up when you hear what sounds like a whisper. Um, a simple psst come from around one of the corners you're working at.
I'll look around the corner.
You come face to
Who's
face with
at me?
Philodendron.
Hmm.
Hi.
Hello.
I was looking for you yesterday.
Apologies, I had personal errands.
All good. Follow me.
I will follow him. I have no reason not to. I'll like wave to Bonnie.
Does Bonnie follow?
Bonnie says no, fuck this weird guy.
Sure. Okay, you and Bonnie
Fuck
begin
this-
to follow this random guy through the city streets. And eventually, you find a new back alley near the very southernmost part of town. You can see the ridge itself has, begun to diminish essentially. Being on this, section of the town, you realize that this is by far the least defended part. The river kind of goes on a wide arcing path further south, but the ridge itself just blends into the natural terrain. And so the south side of the town is covered with stronger walls than in general, but there's no natural defenses on this side of the city. It's kind of more open, creates a more flat terrain as well. The houses are um, more thatchy, wood-based, rather than the serious stone structures that you saw when you first entered the city. Um, he takes you to a small back alleyway, um, surrounded by unnamed shops and strange buildings. Abandoned carts seem to just litter the alleyway with barrels and empty crates all about. Um, he kind of just stands in the center of the alleyway, stopping on a singular um, small bandit carts. Yes. Um, he stops right in front of a singular uh, sealed manhole cover. Uh, ladies first.
Sure,
And he
why not?
just
What's the worst that
motions
happens?
to
I
the
die.
manhole cover. You step on it.
Can I insight check him first?
Yeah, make an insight check.
This is fucking suspicious. 24.
24. Seems generally he's being coy with you. You know, he's not trying to like uh seem aggressive or mean. He's just playing with you, but he does have. It feels like he's trying to show you something, and it's just like, you know, taking the piss a little bit. Like he is enjoying that you don't know what's going
I will make direct eye contact with him and step on the manhole cover.
on. Immediately, the manhole cover, as you step on it, flips, and suddenly you find yourself falling and falling. You pass by 20, 30, 40, 50 feet of tunnels. You can see
I've done this before.
open sewer sections that are just like these open um, what is the word?
Grates?
Yeah, sewer grates that lead into sections where they store like fresh water or
I've seen
um,
flushed away.
yeah. I'm trying to think of the name of the Thieves Guild in Skyrim. What room are they in?
Oh.
It's a specific word that I'm thinking of. It's gonna kill me if I don't remember the location name.
Um. The Rat Way?
Not really.
I'm on a
It's more like
wiki.
Where
Underground tunnel system. Cistern?
cistern. That's what it is. Yeah. You basically fall into an underground cistern, and as you fall through it, eventually you are caught by a very very nice and serious net that drags you as far down as its safety allows, and then you simply slide forward about 6 7 feet, and then suddenly you're standing once more, and you feel the net go up ahead of you, waiting for the next person to fall into the cistern.
Meanwhile, up top, Bonnie just kills this guy. Like, what did you do to? What did you do to my companion? Yeah, cool. That was awesome.
Bonnie, do you do it? The Rat King.
Or he knows the Rat King.
You make an insight check. Again, this time you can. His smile is very apparent. He's enjoying this. Well, your friend already did it. I think you might as well too. jump? Do you fall?
Jump, jump, do a flip.
Do a flip. Things I do, I think goes after A's. Yeah, you step on the manhole cover and find yourself falling through the cistern as well. You can see many different grates and different rooms pass you by as you fall 50 feet, and then suddenly are caught. And soon you slide forward just about 7 feet until you're right next to Asanath. The uh, net goes up and then is immediately hit once more, and sliding and rushing forward to meet with all of you is Philodendron. Well, ain't that fun? Come on, let's go.
I will follow along. That was fun.
He leads you a little bit forwards, and you can see a solid metal and oak door stands before you. You can see there is a individual currently well armed, less so well armored. You can see they're just wearing like studded leathers. They carry what looks to be two hand axes on their belt and a long sword on their back as they're just leaning against the door. He just nods his head as Philodendron just opens the door. You find a cheery atmosphere. It seems there is some sort of establishment here. There are some drinks being had by a few individuals. Tables are set about, and you can see there's a general, like almost party atmosphere, slightly. People seem to be happy down here in the tunnels.
Damn,
Well,
I live in the tunnels.
welcome to the underground section of the city. We find these sewers to be our haven. Um, I experienced your healing for myself. I know it's true. You can do some good things. I might have some work for you if you're willing. He continues to just walk, leading you further in. That right there is where we get all of our main drinks. For people who work here, it's on the house. You might have to pay. Um, Ignore the unsettling types. Most of us are fairly fine fellows here. Oh,
Hmm.
here we go. He goes to a single, really round, massive door and grabs the handle and twists it, launches it open. Up the curved steps we go, and then we'll get to where we're going. Leads you further up, and eventually into what looks to be a sealed room. There is a singular stained glass that you could barely notice in the kind of dim light of that central chamber that looks out over the sights of whatever that almost like bar tavern meeting room is. You know, it was a fairly large uh, uh, building in and of itself. Um, you can currently see a desk is facing away from the glass window, and there is a older, very sickly-looking man behind it. He is dwarven in nature, a big round nose. His ears are slightly red tinted, and you can see he has cuts and scrapes all over his face and body. Um, and generally, he just looks very bad. Sir, found the foyer. Sorry it took a day. Ladies, this is Cadius. Cadius, what's your names?
Gadius, what?
His name is Cadius, and he asked what your names were.
Oh,
Oh, Cadius.
Asana.
Osanov. Bani. Welcome. You can sit, Philodendron. Sorry. I heard that you all were healing people illegally in the city. I know that's true.
Yes.
Good. How much do you charge?
2 silvers, and 4 silvers for the stronger stuff.
He smiles, looking at you. You can see Philodendron looks at him and has this big old smirk across his face. Wonderful. I will have need of your assistance. I will pay you better than 2 silvers.
And what kind of assistance are you needing exactly?
Well, we had an incident. A job well done turned sour for some of us, me included. I can't exactly take my people to any temple. And then you happen to grace us with your presence. In fact, over the course of the day that we could not find you on the streets, we did hear about you. Peculiar individuals doing peculiar things.
Is that so?
Absolutely. I think the whole city has heard of people who killed the paladins.
Well, I suppose that's only to be expected. What kind of healing do y'all need?
Physical, for the most part.
Okay.
Most of us have,
None of y'all are poisoned or...
we're fairly certain 3 of us have internal injuries. The fact that they're still alive, well, is a godsend. For me, there's not much you can do about my predicament, unless you know how to cure lycanthropy.
Hmm. I don't think I can do it, but I don't think it's entirely impossible.
Well, I have some time yet. But my fellows do not. And turns out healing magic is very important in a city where currently we cannot get any healing potions or anything else easily.
Fair enough.
So, how about we bump up that 2 silver piece to maybe 10 gold piece per person? Sound fair?
I looked at Bonnie the capitalist because I lived in the woods for a while.
Your home
I
was the
think it
woods.
sounds more than fair. I know my home was the woods. I don't know grand business plans. This seems fair, but
I mean,
It sounds more than fair.
it is. It's honestly more than fair. He's just almost entreating you.
He's begging.
Yeah, not begging, but you
He's
definitely feel like this is.
Making an offer you can't
Yeah,
refuse.
he's making you an offer you can't refuse.
Yeah.
He doesn't want you to
He
refuse.
needs this.
Also, you're well within
That's
what you
not
can
bad
only
thing.
presume to be a very unsavory
Illegal
section.
place.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
he's also probably buying you off. You know, getting you on the
Oh.
payroll.
Shit, Bonnie's speaking in my mind. Okay, this is something that more than just my doll can do. Cool. That's cool. Ace is gonna turn back to Cadius and yeah, I'll do it.
Wonderful.
Shall I start with you?
If you wish, you can heal what I have.
How hurt does he look?
Um,
Can I do like a medicine check to try to get a better
yeah, make it a
idea?
medicine check.
9.
9.
I rolled poorly.
It doesn't look like he's necessarily dying. He definitely has cuts and scrapes. The red to his ears and like the red on his nose is probably shouldn't look like that. It looks sickly for sure. It's hard to tell.
Mm.
Doesn't look like he's on his deathbed.
Well, I'm gonna give him 1 first level cure wounds and see how he is after that.
Mm-hmm.
I can always add more healing. I can't take healing away.
Yeah.
That's 13 healing. That's max healing.
13, nice. Yeah, you heal away. You see a lot of the cuts begin to knit up, and you have to get closer to him, and he does kind of stand. He's a very stout little dwarven fellow, and as you do heal him, you probably notice that there is a good tinge of red, um, staining his kind of uh, his white tunic, and leading down into like his abdomen area. It seems like he probably got fucked up, and was just kind of suffering through the pain. Probably wasn't gonna die from it, but like you could tell he got hurt pretty bad whatever happened. You clean the stain. Well, healing and the dry cleaning. Now I've seen it all.
Customer satisfaction is our guarantee.
I can see that. Well, I'll take you to the rest. And I'll make sure you're adequately paid for this one too. He points to Philodendron and himself. He leads you back down the steps through the heavy round door and deeper into the space. When he enters into the main section of this cistern, you can see a lot of the people do stand up, even if they're still holding their drinks. They are actively looking out towards him, and they all nod. As he nods back, he heads deeper through one of the side doors, down a few tunnels, until he comes to a heavy-set door with a couple guards. And as the door is open, you can see what looks to be a makeshift infirmary. You can see there's about 4 individuals that are currently lying in beds that look like they're on death's door. They are white in the face. They are mostly unconscious. You can see there's one person, a older man with like black hair, graying sides, who's currently just holding the hands of another man as he just stares at him as the man is just pure white. He stands. Oh, sit, sit. This one first. He points to the man who is currently, pale as a
How
ghost.
are they all within 30 feet of each other?
I'd say so.
Okay, I'm gonna get kind of like I'm just gonna kind of like walk past everyone, and get kind of in a middle point, and then I'm gonna cast Prayer of Healing.
Okay. You sit down and begin to pray for some time. The man doesn't really know what to make of it, as it's not an instantaneous spell. It takes a bit. Um,
Yeah.
but as he kind of like goes to protest, Cadius just heavy dwarven hand on the man's shoulder, keeping him down. You see the man again tries to move, and then Cadius takes his other hand and takes the man's hands and just clasp him to whoever the person dying is, um, and just looks at him, gives this look of you're going to let them do what they're doing, very firmly, just keeping him in his seat as he
Um,
watches you.
and I'm just muttering incomprehensible prayers. This Prayer of Healing has a verbal component, so I have
Mhm.
to speak.
Yeah, you're
I'm
actively
probably just
speaking.
like muttering in Elvish.
Yeah. Eventually, the healing does go through, and there is a burst of radiant light, and you can see, and in some spots, you can hear wounds stitching back together as flesh uh, conjoins back with flesh, as some of these individuals were very, very cut open. They all still remain unconscious, as they've lost serious amounts of blood.
Yeah.
You can see Cadius, finally lets go of the man's hands. And you see that man stands finally and begins to take out what looks to be a singular blood tube. It seems the reason he was so close to the other man, he was just giving blood the entire time as you were casting that. And he slowly just takes this tube out of his arm, corks the end of it, and eventually uh, frees it from the man. Well, that'll save their lives for the moment. Bless
Oh,
you.
I do have more healing that I can give to them.
Feel free. Give all you can.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. Who out of the four looks the most fucked up?
It's still probably the one that was receiving blood.
Okay.
It's this you see a young man, uh, younger man, probably in his like 30s or so, long black hair, um, who is currently just actively unconscious. Getting closer, you can see they have what looks to be slash marks against the face. You can see some of the wounds have healed into very thick scars. It seems as if they probably took like a straight up sword slash to part of their face. Part of their cheek is
Mm,
slightly missing, um, and their clothes are stained red, right up from probably about lower rib all the way up to the right like shoulder area. It seems they took a heavy blow of some type.
I'm gonna cast a level 2 Cure Wounds.
Okay.
14.
Nice. Yeah, you hear being this close. There's a lot of flesh that stitches back together, like a lot of it.
How's he looking now?
Much better. Still unconscious, but it might just be from exhaustion of so much blood loss.
Can I like? Okay, so do I feel confident that he doesn't need any more healing?
Yeah, yeah, he seems
Okay,
much better.
I'm gonna move on to the next guy.
Yeah. The next one doesn't seem as
And
bad, but
I'm gonna give him a regular first level Cure Wounds, so 12.
okay. Oh yeah. You see wounds stitch up. This one seems to just have what looks to be like a giant, uh, almost engorged stomach. Um, and then as you cast the healing magic, you again you see the stomach almost seems to tighten up a bit, and you can hear almost like the expelling of air. And you're pretty sure this person was probably suffering from some sort of uh, great dying of like the internal body, like the internal intestines or something. And they were expanding with air. And so, as part of the healing magic, it's expelling rank, uh, you know, rank dying flesh air,
Yeah, it's like
dying
like
organs,
a corpse fart.
basically. Yeah, these people were on the brink of
Um,
death, like clearly.
yeah. Does he look okay?
Oh yeah,
It's fine.
now.
I'm gonna move on to the next guy.
Mhm.
And cure wounds. Which looks the worst out of the two?
The next person you're going to seems to be a lady. She's pretty, your healing magic did a good amount, probably like a majority of what they needed. You can see uh, it was mostly it's she had a damage all the way up from her right arm all the way up to her neck. It seems she just took like partially what would have been a scrape or some sort of like slight slash, and then it went straight for the neck. And so, she was just bleeding out from there.
What about the other one?
The other one seemed to have taken very similar to the second one you healed. Probably took at least, you know, some sort of stab wound to the stomach area, and then what looks to be a shoulder wound as well. That probably tore through a lot of the muscles. And,
So this one looks more hurt.
oh, definitely.
Okay, then I will use my last first level cure wounds on this one,
Gotcha.
which is 9.
Yeah, you again,
Um,
corpse fart.
yeah. And then as my last spell slot, I will use my second level spell slot to do another prayer of healing,
Okay.
which
Yeah,
is another 13 to everybody,
you
including
heal them
Cadius.
all. Oh yeah, I attributed that to Cadius.
And the
Yeah,
bloodletter guy.
Mm,
I can fit all of them. I can fit 6.
nice. Yeah, you do a tremendous amount of healing in this chamber. Um, it is. You feel very good about it. In the end, you've saved.
If only Ripley were here.
Yeah, if only. Um,
God, I'd be getting so much fucking heals, but then
I
you probably
know,
wouldn't get
right?
paid as much. So
Oh no, they already agreed to pay me 10 gold piece per person.
yeah, imagine using the heart anchor.
What is that?
The heart anchor that you all got from beneath Cardinal.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, on a healing spell.
I forgot about that.
It's a good item.
Where is that?
I think
don't have it in
Bonnie
my
has it.
inventory. Oh, Bonnie has it. That makes sense.
Hmm. It is, yeah, an item that also can help find not disembodied. What is it? Downcast. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of D
it's a
names.
good item. There are. D is a very popular letter.
Absolutely. It's
just
a
like
So, yeah.
Derek, our old enemy.
So yeah, I do all of the possible healing I can possibly do.
yeah. Well, that should be enough. We'll let them rest then. Come back to my room and I'll pay you for all your healing. He walks
60
by,
gold.
I will
taps on the
pull him back
shoulder
from his
of
room.
the person who is, giving blood. As he walks out. With you in tow, you eventually find your way back to his room. He sits down heavily. He opens up a drawer, pulls out a big old, almost like treasure chest. Uh, you know, almost as the size of the drawer itself. Sets it on his desk and opens it up, and you can just see so much wealth, stacked in even neat, uh, almost like the coin rolls. You can see he just takes one set of coin rolls and then takes another one and opens it up and pours it in a small, what looks to be like one of those old timey scales. He pours some of the money in there until it evens out, and he grabs the gold and holds his hand out.
I'll take it.
He drops you 10 gold in your hand and then gives you one of the coin rolls.
I'll hand that to Bonnie for her to count.
Yeah, it's set in 50 gold for the coin rolls. If I were you, I would ditch the coin roll as soon as you can. Just
Will do.
mix the gold into your own. You should be fine. Yeah, so he gives you 60 gold. You healed him,
Cool.
you healed 4 others, and technically you also healed everyone in the room. So give you extra money for that because that was one extra
Yeah.
person.
I had decided that I was gonna earn my money.
Absolutely. I will say, Bonnie, as you as you read the coin roll, it is labeled official use for the um, what's the actual name? Hold up, wait a minute. Official use for King Gustag Rida. It seems it's the king's coin roll.
I'm gonna like whisper to Bonnie, we should give the paper from the coin roll to Grim for him to use in one of his pranks.
Ingenious. Absolutely ingenious.
Send someone to jail for treason! Why not, right?
Absolutely. Send them to jail.
Yeah. Do you have an enemy, Grim?
Well, you all did good work by us. Oh, want to hand it to him?
Uh, Osnoth will nod and take the paper and put it in her pocket.
Sweet. You all did good work by us. My
You
people,
paid us well for it.
yes. And my people, thank you. I entrust that there will be some discretion. But
Of course.
if you need anything, I'm sure you will be able to find us again.
Hmm.
Philodendron can escort you out. If there's anything else you need, let me know. And if you come across a way to heal lycanthropy, I'd pay.
You'll be the first to know.
I'd pay. Smiles at you. He stands, holds his hand out for a handshake.
I'll shake his hand.
Pleasure to meet you, Asanov, Bunny, and you all are. If there's nothing else, let out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of enter. Well, you exit where you kind of entered, and you find yourselves going through a pretty tall spiral staircase near the net, and eventually, as you step out, you find yourselves kind of overlooking a strange wood space. Um, and you can kind of see small little peepholes in a couple directions. And you realize you're in one of the abandoned barrels. It is hollow on the
Mm.
inside, and all you do is open a part of the wood, and it opens like a door.
Oh my god.
And you just kind of half crawl out. It's not the most elegant way to exit, but it is an interesting exit.
Um. What a weird experience.
Hmm.
I wonder what kind of
You have
what
met
did they do?
you've met
The Thieves Guild.
I'd never said they're the Thieves Guild.
No, I don't know what they are. We've met someone. Hey, hey, Philanderil, whatever your name is.
They're the Rat Boys.
Yeah, I did. I did want to ask what kind of group Cadius ran.
Oh, you could have.
Yeah, yeah. Can I while we're on the walk?
Sure. It would probably be back in his office. He didn't walk you out, but
Oh, oh,
yeah.
no. I was gonna. Okay, I'll ask Cadius himself. I was gonna ask
Yeah, we can.
Philodanrin, but yeah, I'll
mm,
ask Cadius himself.
Yeah, we can go back and like before you leave, you're about to step out the door to go back through his tunnels, and you. What do
Like,
you say?
wait a minute. Who are you? No. Uh, oh, this is a bit awkward, but what kind of group do you run?
Well, we peddle wares from Bandit to Evergreen to Hornridge.
Hmm.
In rare cases, some of my
Have
friends in Broken Bridge as well.
Have you been through Clash recently?
I had a few carts go to Clash with some goods. Why?
I was wondering if I could get some gossip or news, I suppose, from Clash
Go ahead.
in regards to some refugees.
From, pardon my Elvish, Van Rag, something?
Van Argelados, yes.
That, yes. There. 30 of them stay in um, the fortress of Clash, from what I remember. Um,
30 of them?
I think that was the number I heard. My contact in Clash runs the local uh, general store. He hired on one of the boys, a young lad. Um, Seems to be doing good work. If you need, I can give you this information.
I would like that.
He motions Philodendron to bring him some papers, and eventually he does, and begins to write out, some notes for you. Um, Essentially, just explaining the general store that his ally runs, and the young man that's under his care.
Do I recognize the name or anything?
Mm. Make a history check.
Uh,
And how old are you
what a,
again?
I am not super old. I'm 113.
So you're very young.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
This
mentally vulnerable.
Yeah, this individual is your age.
Okay.
Uh
13.
yeah. They were not necessarily in your class. Um but they were like you vaguely would recognize the name. Let me find the name real fast. Ba 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 da ba. Read.
It's like the person you run into in like the fucking Walmart and you're like, "Oh, hey." Neither of you really
Oh
know who the other person
hey,
is. You just kind of like make eye contact and are like, "Well, I know you and you
it's
clearly know
you
me."
from the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I
Yeah, did
remember
we have
you.
that class
Yeah, we had that
with the
that thing. Oh yeah,
teacher?
with the hair.
Mm-hmm. Just just the vaguest possible conversation. Uh, what's his name? I have something to say about him.
Okay. I literally just had it. Oh, no. Oh, there it was. Dragon Walker. Caro.
Dragon. Can I get that typed out? Dragon Walker Caro? Cairo?
Caro. Oh,
Caro.
forgot the thing.
Orden's General Goods.
Yeah, in
Caro.
Elvish. Um, Essentially, in Elvish, the suffix name it ro is walker or walks. So dragon walks. As Ka is a dragon. You would recognize that to be the translation name, but their Elvish name is Caro, and the establishment is Uridin's General Goods.
Hmm. Nice. Well, thank you.
No problem. And then back to modern setting. You've exited the establishment and have made your way back across town, uh, having healed and made a lot of money. Eventually, you all gather back together in preparation for the event the next day. Yes, uh, far richer than you were beforehand. All it took was some illegal healing and an underground crime ring.
That's called building a market.
Hmm. But yeah, you that's loud. Um, 50 per potion I sell to the priest. For the priest, for like actual healing potion, I'd say yes. You can add that money to your repertoire, making money moves. Absolutely. Yeah. As that third day ends, um, we wind down the downtime days, and the next day shines bright as you are preparing for a feast to celebrate uh, the saving of Faye Rintra's life, and to gather some of the main leaders in the city, especially the king and some of the other high priests, to discuss what to do um, about this political turmoil. They've had time to think, specifically 4 days, to come up with plans and solutions and try and fix this situation that they've gotten themselves into. Um, I mean, it would be nice if you dressed up.
I look at my one outfit.
You would have had time to get something made. The church was willing to offer you outfits. Um, you know, nothing fancy, of course, but they could have commissioned you something. Um, it'd literally just be very mundane, uh, but nicer tires.
Sure, I'll take a almost exactly what I'm wearing, but a little bit nicer.
The nice version of Ripley's get up.
Yeah, it has less holes, basically.
Oh wait, are we going shopping? What's happening?
There
Uh,
was commissioned uh, things that the church would make you. So whether or not you wanted, a nicer outfit for the occasion, something with less holes, with less blood stains, they could make it. It'd be
I'd
very
love a
simple.
dress. I'd love a backless dress so I can show off all of my scars.
A backless dress.
Slay.
I have a very, very scarred back.
Yeah, they could find a backless dress.
It's as scarred as my face, and
Mhm.
I love it.
You're such a freak, and I love you for it.
Absolutely a freak.
I'm just living my
Ripley
best
does.
life.
He does put on his same cloak though, so you cannot tell he's wearing a nicer outfit underneath. The same shitty
So
cloak.
We know.
shitty cloak
We know.
Yeah.
for a nice outfit. That's awesome. Yeah. So I imagine all of you dress, you know, fairly okay, and make your way towards the event. Um, Entering in, you can see the main temple has been arranged to get rid of the pews and add more dining spaces and smaller tables for miniature banquets and drinks. Um, as they've turned the temple into a small gathering. It's nothing super fancy or big. There's probably in attendance with you all as well, approximately 40 or 50 people. It is a generally smaller gathering. Uh, Many individuals, show up. You can see near the back there is an elevated stage where it seems like the king has his few seats next to him. You can see many different individuals. You can see there are a couple drows. You You can see Thay Rintra is currently speaking with what looks to be two other drow. You can see one of them wears a fairly mundane kind of blackened cloak, uh, wearing what looks like to be a just fancy, almost like suit and tie kind of look. The other one seems to be more lofty, um, wearing this very intricate blue and black mixed colored, um, as their hair is tied up in this beautiful, um, almost uh, like massive braid that goes up and then descends down their back. Um, and their hair still reaches like their uh, like upper hip region, even though it is tied in this like beautiful intricate braid. Their hair must be incredibly long, or much of it is fake. It's hard to tell. Um, but her skin, you know, is perfect, and she is radiant. Um, you can see the master of the Redwater Watch, Ystra, is in a kind of more ceremonial attire. You can still see a lot of the rustic rust colors that adorn his stature and his suit. Trustra, the master of the grave, is there, which none of you other than Asanath have seen or met yet. She wears a very simple um, dress that is very tight knit. Not a lot is showing at all. You can see many of the clerics wear their actual uh, beautiful vestiges. You can see shining symbols of Torm and Lathander. You can see the shining symbol of Sharindalar as um, Yalmatum is wearing the most radiant, beautiful vestige you've ever seen. He is literally a beacon of light in this chamber. Every movement reflects some of the amber firelight that is being cast from different places in the room. Um, you can also see Fey Rintra, uh, generally just being himself, wearing some of his vestiges, but still fancy, but less so and less gaudy. Many other individuals dot this landscape. And as you begin to enter, you see an individual who is naming out those who are entering. Um, you immediately hear King Gustag Raida, and stepping forth into the temple, you can see a fairly tall dwarf currently wearing full um, kingly regalia. They shine like a beacon within the temple here. Um, they seem to similarly share a lot of the colors of the city. These kind of rusty um, stone iron looks. So it's like a gray, reddish tinge to their coloration. Um, you can see they carry a massive, um, almost like scepter, I guess, that seems to be made of part stone and part different types of metals. Um, Lots of irons and other silvers, but they do seem like slightly different, as if they are different metals combined in the staff of the scepter. And you all step up to the announcer. What do you have him name you as?
Oh no, group name.
TBD.
Or, I mean, just individual names. Do you share your real names?
Oh,
Probably just individual names because we don't
yeah.
we
Asana.
don't have a group yet.
The squad.
No, but I imagine you tell. Do you tell your real names?
What is this?
Ace
Some
will.
sort of suicide squad?
Hmm. Your full name?
Just my first name.
Okay.
Just
Ripley.
Asana.
Yeah, Ripley.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll just say just Atlas.
Just Atlas. Okay.
None of us have last names.
Bonnie?
It's what bonds us
We're all
together.
like Cher.
Full name or just Bonnie? Bonnie Smith. Of an Gill.
Bonnie is the only one that has a last name. Bonnie, why
Absolutely.
are you with us? Get out of here.
I mean, Atlas has a last name, but he's not going to share it.
No, I
Yeah.
know. Presumably, I do too.
Or do you?
Oh.
None of us have asked each other our full names.
Yeah.
What's your last name? What's your favorite color?
You
This
eventually
is why the
enter
dog's
into
my
the
best
party
friend.
after your introductions. You begin to mingle and talk around. You can see eventually the king begins to speak with the master of the guard. And I'd say like anyone with a passive perception of about 15 or higher can note that there is a slight angry conversation between the two. They get slightly heated and begin to walk off in a separate direction. The king almost begins to raise his voice as the ambient sound within the temple raises, as people are talking. Um, and right before it's about to die down, as people realize there's an argument going on, you see the captain of the guard is about to say something and holds himself and stops, bows his head, and just steps towards the door, speaks to two of the guards, and you see two of the guards go rushing down the city streets. See the
Sure,
king,
that's fine.
pleased with himself, goes and steps onto his raised platform and begins to talk with the others who are invited there. You can see the guests of honor are essentially the ones who get to sit next to the king. One of them being, the host of this event, the high priest of the Temple of Sharendlar, Yalmatam. Next to him is Feyrintra. Captain of the guard seemingly has a seat as well, but many of the others find different spots and places to sit. Um, and as the night goes on, you have conversations and talks with different individuals that I won't get into tonight, as we're running a little bit. It's a little late. Um, the Eventually, about an hour passes of conversation and talk, and you can see everyone is getting down and ready for their seating arrangements. You all find seats close to the king on the south side. So towards the king, it would be on his left. Um, you see there's a one open spot at the far end of the table, going towards the main door away from the king. So one of you gets to sit closest to the king. One of you gets to sit, towards someone random. You can see the drow and other high clerics seat across from you, as well as some of the minor dignitaries begin to seat close to you. And as you, wait for the king to begin his speech, there is one more name that is yelled out by the announcer. The name kind of hits all of you at the same time, and you begin to turn your heads. As you can see, standing in the doorway is a massive 8-foot tall figure. Tall, imposing, wearing beautiful vestiges, denoting a almost looking like a stained glass, beautiful mosaic. Um, the individual is announced, Rizor, leader of the Mirrored Forward Spear Battalion of the Empire of Glass. You see the area goes hush as all eyes turn towards this massive gray-skinned Goliath. Welcome, Rizor. Please have a seat over on this side. You see the tall figure begins lumbering towards your side, pulls out the chair right next to one of your party members as he is sat right next to one of you. Thank you, my king. Red Ridge's hospitality is unmatched at this moment. He takes a seat, looks towards all of you. Pleasure to see all of you. I only got a glimpse before. Now we can finally make our acquaintances. He smiles. You left Bitterwood in quite a hurry. My friends, we gather in this temple to feast and talk and discuss future plans. So first, let us feast. He raises his hands, and soon food is brought out on silver trays. Goblets and cups are filled, and a feast begins. And that's where I'm going to end tonight's session.
This is the worst timeline.
Oh boy.
I want you to know it took 6 days to go from Bitterwood to Spiny Shores to Ruins of Cardinal to Reed Town to finding an abandoned boat on the edge of the lake and being like, they're going to Red Ridge. Maybe. And then when they're not let in Red Ridge and they hear that paladins were just killed, they know they're on the right trail.
We really gotta stop
That's
killing
without
paladins,
that is
don't
without them stopping in Spiny Shores for like 2 days, trying to find you, expecting you to have gone north.
we? Interesting. Interesting how we're so predictable and findable.
You went straight south. What can I say?
Well, it's only because I died that we went straight south.
I know.
Yeah, we didn't even plan on coming to Red Ridge.
Yeah!
Well, here's the thing, right?
We're just not
Also,
good at hiding ourselves.
the local boatman, who is known to take adventurers out onto the lake, disappeared. And so maybe they thought you were going to Clash, but then they found your boat on the edge of the lake, and they're like, "Oh yeah."
Well, about that.
Listen,
It was bound to happen sooner or later.
it was bound to happen. They probably would not have caught up with you anytime soon until the 4-day downtime happened
Yeah.
and certain events happened. You know, they took a while to get here. It was not immediate.
And they don't have us yet.
No. Also, Rizor has no weapon. There is no weapons in this room other than what the guards have.
We've got to bounce.
So, you're unarmed. He's unarmed. He is 8 foot tall. But that's fine.
I'm not. You know what? It's fine.
Yeah, you're probably going to need to get smuggled out of the city or something.
Oh, it's a good thing we
sure
just
it's
made
fine.
friends with some smugglers.
You need a shield. But yeah.
Like, hey, Cadius, remember how you said you'd help us out? How much would it cost for you to smuggle us out of the city?
Well, yeah. I wanted to get to this because I knew I needed a good cliffhanger for the next 3 weeks of no game.
Woo!
Unless one of you wishes to run a one shot, which is
I
totally
do.
fine by me.
I have one I could run if everyone is interested.
We can definitely, if you need any help with the server stuff, I can give you a new role or something.
I shouldn't need anything.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see y'all still in this chat on a Monday night. I feel bad leaving. I'm starting to get like that. I feel really bad. Like I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abandoning us
I
for
mean,
Europe.
it makes sense. It's a commitment that you've made consistently for an extremely long time.
Yeah. I mean, it's only 3 weeks. I think we
Yeah.
had a down. Like I think we didn't play D&D for 3 weeks when we were switching over the game. But like,
Mhm. But that was different. That wasn't
yeah,
on a
it was a little bit
cliffhanger.
different. Yeah. No. Yeah.
It'll be interesting. That's
The
for sure.
water closets. You mean the bathrooms?
Yeah, they cost money.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did already know that. I'll be fine.
They suck.
I'll just not go at all.
Just piss yourself.
Or just I won't.
That's also an option.
Yeah.
Or just carry a couple bottles. You'd be fine.
Oh yeah. I do
Yeah.
have I just bought my foldable water bottle that'll
Ooh,
I can just roll it up. It's weird.
that's disturbing almost.
It kind of is. It's really flimsy. I don't know how it's gonna be.
Hmm.
I don't know. I fear that the cap is gonna like shoot off something or somehow. Like
Yeah.
if I like squeeze it too hard when it's like peak full, it's just gonna pop. But who knows? Who knows?
Only one way to find out.
Damn.
Absolutely. I have to figure it out on my own.